Mothers are very loving and caring, but make them angry and they're the scariest creatures on the planet. This movie proves it. Amanda lives a quiet life with her daughter on an American farm producing honey. But when her estranged mother's remains arrive from Korea, Amanda becomes haunted by the possibility of turning into her own mother. But before I probably start with my review for Umma, I want you to start the conversation about it in the comments below. What's your favorite horror of 2022 thus far? Anything and everything down there. And if you like movies and TV, this is the place to be, so consider clicking that subscribe button so you don't miss any future conversation on your favorite movies and TV. As you probably can guess by now, I went into this film very blind. I looked at a poster, so I knew this was a horror film. I knew it stars Sandra Oh, but I had no idea what I was in for. And this film holds a couple of good performances. It has a really nice, isolated setting that not only helps in the generation of suspense and thrills throughout its very short runtime, as the film is only 84 minutes long, but it also creates this intimate setting where you feel like you're very acquainted with these two characters, this mother and daughter. And Fivel Stewart and Sandra Oh have really good chemistry on screen. They really create this very good, nurturing relationship of this mother and daughter who only have each other. And the film is trying to tackle these themes of generational trauma that are very compelling in terms of concept. The idea itself is naturally something very rich thematically, but sadly the film itself takes a very heavy-handed approach to it all, where it has all the subtlety of a sledgehammer to the face. Nearly every element of this production, from the fairly competent writing and directing to even the score and visual effects, are so in your face about trying to scare you that they kind of become hilarious at points inadvertently. The film is so obnoxious in trying to create these situations of horror, it just ends up being a collection of tropes and horror cliches throughout. It's an eerie sound effect playing, the score is booming up slowly, there's a dark corner on the screen, so eventually something jumps out. And the film feels repetitive in that sense, to the point where those merciful 84 minutes just start to feel like they're more than just 84 minutes. There's even this very interesting imagery of a QB, a nine-tailed fox, that shows up at one point only to serve as a jump scare and never anything else. And the film is riddled with all these interesting ideas, interesting imagery that just feels like it's there to give you a jump scare. It never really blends in to the story itself, to the generational trauma themes that the film is kind of exploring, and it feels overall shallow. The film doesn't dive any deeper into it. The opening scene where you're quickly flashing back to Sandra Oh's characters growing up and what traumatized her with the relationship to her own mother, there's never really anything too deep that is discovered beyond that. You can very much put the pieces together, so the entire film doesn't feel like you unveil more layers to these characters, to their story, to what is haunting them. It just feels like it's very surface level in every regard, and that's very disappointing. And like I said, the relationship and dynamic of mother and daughter between Fivel Stewart and Sandra Oh create a somewhat engaging relationship for you to follow throughout this, but it never can quite save the film itself. The film presents an interesting perspective and concept about generational trauma and how it continues to haunt generations to come within a family, but Amongst that and then all the supernatural horror elements, they never seem to truly blend in. They feel like there's a really good drama hidden somewhere beneath all this horror craziness that never quite sticks the landing and has no uniqueness to it. It has no unique voice behind it. Umma has compelling and rich ideas, but sadly the execution is sorely lacking. It is perfectly watchable if very boring on the long run, but at least it is mercifully short. I'm giving Umma a C-. But those are only my thoughts on Umma. I cannot wait to hear what you thought of it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my channel members Bruna and Stuart for making this video possible. And there's a review right now on the channel up for Windfall, and many more reviews to come. This week and the next one are very packed, so you want to stay tuned, and I hope to see you in those. So if you like what you saw here, make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss all the future conversations about your favorite movies and TV. So until the next one, love each other and love the movies.